Hey everybody, so what we're going to do today is my youngest daughter, Christiana's hair. Give him a twirl, Christiana. All of this. And for purposes of this video, we're going to do it in our sink. We generally don't. We usually go to the laundry room and that sink down there, but this will probably be better for this purposes. So here we go. And then you just wet the hair. Make sure that you get all of their hair, you know, the back, the middle, especially if they have thick hair. This is what I do. Make sure that you get the front, the sides. Gonna apply soap, shampoo. This is the one that I currently use, and I love the way that it smells. I like how it cleans their hair. You can normally tell how dirty someone's hair is. Sorry. If the shampoo, if it's not really lathering good, and you'll see shortly when I do my second round how much better it will lather. I also just grab some hair, make sure that I put some in the middle. Start working it in. I'm a fan of soap. I am not stingy with shampoo. I always say the word soap, but I'm not stingy with shampoo. We have a lot of hair. I don't have time to be going back and forth. So I just put some in the palm of my hand. And then I go in right now doing the front. So as you can see, it's lathering some. What you want to make sure is that you're focusing on the scalp, because as you're rinsing the soap out, it will run down the hair shaft, and that's how it will basically clean it. But you want to make sure that what you're doing is that you're getting the scalp, because that is the dirtiest part of your hair. So at this point, I'm gonna put a little water on here and continue. And see, you have more soap. You can pull it on down the hair shaft. I use my, I have shorter nails, so I use my nails to gently kind of scratch, massage, and make sure that you get in the front. As you can see, it's lathering more, which is a really good thing. Her curls are popping back. So this is how we know that her hair does revert back. She doesn't have heat damage. I also do not straighten their hair on a regular basis. Just as with my hair, I straighten their hair when I wash it. I don't go back in with straightening tools or heated tools, because that's how you can disturb the natural hair pattern. So before I go back in with my soap, I will show you. Here is some of her curls. And actually, I'm gonna come in closer. You can see some of these curls. So that you can tell that her hair pattern, that it's still intact. You squeeze. If you see water, you good. You can also do like this. You hear that? If it was still soaking here, you would hear it. So at this point, what I do is I take the hair, try to squeeze some water out of it. And then I take an old t-shirt, no towels. Towels tend to make your hair more fuzzy. So take a towel, open it up like this, because this is where you will put your head. And then I usually just do this. Put it over your client's head. Let it hang down some. Let them dry their hair, their hands and their face. And then from there, they go ahead, or you can go ahead and do like this. Twist it up. Here you go. And if water is running down, again, you can still use this towel, use it as a towel. And I usually have my client hold, and we'll show you what happens next. Okay, so at this point, I usually just do like this to get some of this excess water. And so here we go. As you can see, curls. They're back. Here we go. Not really defined, but we got curls. And so at this point, you're going to use these. These are your best friend. Like I told you earlier, I combined two different conditioners. So today I'm using this one. This is the Super Cholesterol. And it's the Queen Helen. What I usually use is this one. Made by the same people. But the thing that I do love about this one, look, got a whole pump. You don't even have to worry about digging your hand down in there because you have a pump. I also mix it with silicone mix. I would not suggest that you use these two exclusively. I would always put them together. We've had the best results by doing that. So I'm going to show you right now how I separate and how I do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate her hair into 4 parts. Depending on how thick your hair is, you might want to section it into 6, which would be 3 on each side. But for hers, I grab a twist. Don't have to be all extra fancy. I pin this or clip it. I do the same thing with the back. It just helps me get a better grasp of all of this hair. Just broken your the whole situation down, because you don't have to worry about trying to tackle it all at one time. So I'm going to do the front part first, just so that you can see. I separate it a little bit with my fingers, kind of like, you know, you fluff it out a little bit. And then, it doesn't matter which one of these two that you use first. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to scoop in my silicone. I'm a fan of using a lot. And then I'm going to do a pump. We'll see how this works out. Oh, it's super. It's a little bit thicker. Then I take it in my hand, put it on the hair, and then I use the front, as you can see, the front of my hand, the back, because you're going to get some on the front and the back. I put it all around the perimeter of this section. Kind of working in with your hands. Make sure that you're getting the sides, the front, and then you can work it on out to the end. I also part it. I go in. I might put a little bit more. Because what you want to do is, especially with this conditioner, you want to oversaturate. Because this conditioner is providing protein, it's providing, you know, the silicone to your hair. And so you want to make sure that your hair is overly saturated. And then at that point, that's when I go in with this comb. And I may detangle a little bit. You start at the end, you work your way up. If their hair really is not super tangled, because Christiana actually combed her hair prior to me washing it, you don't even have to do that. And then I just roll it. You can see the extra product. Roll it, put it back on the hair. And then I wrap this up. Use your clip. Get these from Beauty Supply.
I suggest you do one. I'll go back to this section number 2. Again, separate the hair a little bit. She did an amazing job at combing her hair from root to end. However, if you're taking down braids or something while you have a conditioner on your hair, you might get the best flip. And so that's when, you know, if I had shampoo on, I would do like this. If you could not or did not comb your hair prior to washing it. So here we go again. You want to make sure that you're putting ample amount of product on the ends of your hair. That is very crucial. Because number one, the ends are the oldest part of your hair. You want to preserve those. They're generally the driest.
As you can see, she still got those curls all the way to the end. And last section. Now, when you first start doing this, it may seem overwhelming, but the more that you do it, even if it's on your hair, you'll get a rhythm. And then it'll become easier and easier. And then you'll find that you'll zip your way on through. This can get messy. So that's good for your client to have a towel or a cape or something on. I'm wearing my scrubs. 1, because I have pockets, and 2, if I get product on it, it's okay. Again, you look at those ends, put a little extra more. as you can see, I have my 4 sections. Turn your head, please. I have my 4 sections, so I have 2 back here, 2 up here. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to put, you can use what we used to call as curl bags, but because I'm not gonna buy those, I just reuse shopping bags. I'm gonna put 2 of them on her hair, so you'll see that soon. So at this point, you can do one of 2 things. You can either leave these clips in. I do not. Just kind of hold. You can either hold them, or at this point, I do this. Take bag number 1. Make sure that you have it on the hair, not, not down to their ear, down to their eyes, that is. You can either pin it at the back, or what I like to do is, this first one right here, I either do it on the front or I'll do it to the side. Try to push out the air. And like I said, I use 2 bags because just in case one bag has a hole in it, you're still good. Push out as much air as you can. But this right here just tends to give me, it tends to give me better results because it's trapping in more of the heat. Take another one of these clips, make sure I don't clip her head. And ta-da! At this point, she can go play, she can do her chores, homework, whatever, because I'm done with this for now. I'm gonna let it just naturally work, let the heat from her own scalp help to penetrate the 2 conditioners that I've mixed together. And with this, you can generally find this in, let me see, this is the 16 ounce. You can generally find it like in the 8 ounce because I have a lot of hair. I have 3 daughters that do. I tend to get the big ones. And so I'm gonna do a review of this later. But so far, I love the fact that it has a pump on it. I'm gonna try to figure out if I can do that as well for this one. And we'll see what happens after I rinse this out. So after we wash out the conditioner again, you take your t-shirt, yes, close your eyes. This is our leave-in conditioner. Next, we're going to use our heat protector smooth and shine polisher. Section our hair back, because remember, the 4 sections are always easier to work with when you are working with a massive amount of hair. These, I really like these as well. Guess they call them alligator clips. When you're buying these, you might want to buy a couple just in case, you know, some might break, they are plastic. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the product, put it in the palm of my hand, This heat protector, you want to get it from the root to the end. Also section again, just to do like this. Make sure to get stuff in there good. Make sure you get it on the ends, of course. I do the back first because I blow dry the back first, and then I work my way up to the front. So that's why I put the product on first in the back, so that it will give it a little bit of time to penetrate. Like I said before, she actually did a great job at combing out her hair prior to me washing it. So I feel the less you manipulate it, the better, especially with natural hair. Use your wide tooth comb. You start at the bottom. As you can tell, as I'm combing, her hair is getting more fluffier because I'm combing the her natural curls out. Because her hair is super thick, I kind of do this thing where I rake through it just across the top of it, just to loosen up some of the curl, some of the if they're tangled, and then I just gently comb to the end. If it is a lot of hair, you can even separate. It's okay. Again, I'm gonna rake the top, the sides, because her hair is super thick, and I don't fight with it. Even if this process takes a long time, you can always wet the hair again. Now, I don't say drench it, but if you have a spray bottle, you can always wet it again, because what you want to do is make sure that you are detangling really good. And so I have this part done, and I just move on. So here is we have detangled, we have, still have our 4 sections. And now I'm gonna start blow drying. Now, like I always say, 1/4 of her hair is just about as thick as some people have on the entire top of their head. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna section this 1/4 off in half so that I can start blow drying it. I go through it again to make sure that, we're good. And this is how I blow dry. Like I said, on here, I turn to low and warm. I do not use high and hot because it can burn your hair off. It uses too much heat. So I'm going to show the tension method right now, and then I'll explain after I finish the section. Okay, so what I was just doing was just knocking off some of the wetness from her root. And so I'm going to keep this hair dryer on warm, but I'm going to turn it on high. So the temperature will be warm because, again, you do not want to use hot, but we can turn it on high. I'm going to show you all now how I do this. Again, this is the tension method. I go in with my denim brush and I just get the ends to straighten them out. You can also use your wide tooth comb, and I just comb just to make sure that any tangles, I'm combing those out gently. Now, right about now, her hair is about 70% dry. What I used to do was I used to just go in with a comb or with a brush, and I would just keep doing like this. It is easier if you just do the tension method. Now, if your hair is shorter, rock on out with it. But I would probably use the brush for that. Because her hair is so long and it's so thick, as you can see, I just use the tension method. It works better. Right about now, her hair is about 90% dry. Because her hair holds water, sometimes it takes it a little longer to dry, but that's fine. You can still see the fact that it doesn't look like it's drying out. And you can definitely tell the difference from the top, which is wet. And I'll show you that. So this is how it looks when it's wet. You can tell the difference from this to this. And one of the main things that you want to do is to dry the hair pretty straight. I mean, it's fluffy because it's thick, but you want to dry it to where it looks like it's straight. And so when I go in with the flat iron, it's just gonna knock it all out the park. And so this is the most important part of making sure that your hair is straight. Not per se with the flat iron, because you do not want to have to go through your hair several passes. Hey guys, as you can see, the shrinkage is real. Look at this. This is her hair when it's wet in this natural state. And this is after I have just blow dried it. Do you see this difference? Turn your head, please. Do you see this? Like, wow. So, I'm gonna show you guys on this top section. Now, some people, when they use a blow dryer, they like to use the comb attachment. I don't really like to use it because I like this this nozzle right here. It kind of, you know, forces the air to go straight, not all over the place. And because I like the tension method, her hair is more smooth. I can control, you know, how close I have the blow dry to her head and everything, and it just works out best for me. So I stopped using the comb, well, the comb attachment about 8-10 years ago. And like I said, recently in the past couple of years, I learned about the tension method, and I was like, oh, that works so much better than, you know, wrestling with a comb, a brush, trying to hold the blow dryer and the hair. And like I said, shrinkage is real, because you see that? This is where her hair stops when it's curly-esque. And this is what happens when it's blow dry. So we're gonna keep going. Another reason why I like the tension method, it's because you can start off at the root, you know, that's what I hit first to make sure that that is straight. But it's not like you're holding the hair really, really tight. Like, you don't have a comfortable grip on it. But they say that you hold it taut, which is, you know, just hold it taut. And it tends to stretch the hair more as I'm, you know, applying the heat. Half done. There you go. All right, so here we go with the last. This is for the end of this part, and then comes my favorite part of all, and that's the straightening process. so at this point I have washed, deep conditioned, detangled, and blow dried my daughter's hair. Usually what I would do is I would already have my flat irons warming up by the time I get to the middle. You know, when I do the back part, by the time I get to the front, at that time I'm generally, you know, plugging up my flat irons. But today I did not. So I'm going to talk a little bit about them while I am allowing them to warm up, because they do not take long at all. As you can see, they are very beat up. I've had these things for about 5 years. They are actually hairstylers. And here is the info. And so it says that, well, this is the Platinum Zebra print. It is a professional straightening iron. It is actually ceramic plate heat. It is 1.5 inches wide. So, yeah, 1.5 inches wide. It reaches 460 degrees Fahrenheit for faster styling. And it says it has the floating plate technology ceramic plates. The thing that I do like about these is the fact that they work on all of our hair. You'll see it soon. The only con that I would say for these is that, number one, you cannot turn the temperature down. You can't turn it up, you can't turn it down. It is what it is. Thank God all of our hair is super thick, so you'll see the process that I'm going to do. Like I just showed you, she does not even have heat damage, because I'm not continuously going through, you know, 4 or 5 passes or whatever the case may be. So these, and I used to have the little smaller ones till I broke them. So here we are, my favorite part. And like I said, I always just twist it. It's easier to take it down. It is easier to, you know, maneuver. Just want to show you guys how I do the chase method. I generally part with my thumb, and then I kind of do like this, clip that away. So that's just for the roots. And I go back in with my comb. One pass. There's them. Sometimes I think, you know, your roots, they just need a little extra oomph. So that's why I kind of tap my roots. And then I just go back through, pick up pieces. Now this is where my smaller little flat iron would have came in, and it would have just totally knocked it out. But until I order another one, here we are. You can also use a rat tail comb. It's an awesome thing to use for a parter. It's very windy out there. Not sure if you guys can hear that. But if you can, just know it's windy. I live in the Midwest. And we get all types of weather. So this is the chase method. You're basically just chasing the rat tail comb or the small tooth comb. It helps to, you know, make your hair smoother because you have these little bitty comb, you know, pieces that, you know, is going through, and it's basically just moving the hair like this. And so the heat can get in between there.